This is your local election headquarters.
Welcome back to This Week in Louisiana Politics. I'm joined in studio by our very own Capitol reporter, Shannon Heckt. Shannon, we know that a veto session is definitely happening. Do we know what sort of vetoes are going to be looked at by the lawmakers?
Right, so the main driver for this veto override session to go forward was the ban on gender-affirming care for minors bill. A lot of the conservatives have really been pushing for this overturn. They did everything they could to push this bill through during the session, even after it had already been voted down in committee. There's also a couple other anti-LGBTQ bills that could potentially come up, as well as ones having to do with the voter rolls, some criminal justice reform, some having to do with vaccines. So any of the 28 bills that the governor vetoed can be taken up, but they do need to get that 2/3 vote of support in both the House and the Senate to undo those vetoes.
So 2/3, that's the magic number, and it's not always easy to get, right?
No, even though there is a supermajority of Republicans in both the House and the Senate as of now, not all these bills got over that 70 votes in the House, and I believe it's 26 in the Senate, in order to get that 2/3 support. There were some Republicans that didn't vote for it. There were some, but there were other, most of them were bipartisan, especially these anti-LGBTQ bills. So I'm sure the governor is working with his Democrats right now, maybe some of the more moderates who maybe don't want to see this go through. But we'll just have to wait and see how that shakes out.
So let's speak a little bit to the controversy of these bills. Some of these veto bills won't be so controversial. It's just it's just how they think. But these social bills that went through and then ultimately got vetoed, they caused a stir down at the State House. It'll probably happen again during the veto session, right?
Oh yeah, these are very emotionally charged and personal bills to some people. On one side, people are seeing it as a way to protect children from ideologies they don't support, and on the other side, people see it as a violation of human rights of that community. So it took the spotlight from our fiscal session that we had. So, and it makes a lot of sense that we'd be coming back for this veto override session. I'm sure there'll be people coming out to the Capitol to share their opinion. These bills don't go to committee in a veto override. They're just a vote on the House floor and the Senate floor, and then they swap, and obviously. So people won't get to have public testimony, but there's usually some kind of protest or rallies for people to show their support one way or another.
Can they tackle any of the vetoes, or is it just a specific list?
Any of the 28 that the governor gave.
28.
There's 28, including the line item vetoes in the budget. If they want to undo that, that means they have to undo the veto to the entire budget. They can't do line item vetoes. That means they would have to start over on the budget process. So it'd be a difficult task for them to do that, but there are the pet projects bill, the construction bill, where they may want to look at some of that, people who maybe felt that they should be investing in a little bit different way. So there has been talk about that, and we'll have to see what they're looking to tackle, what the fallout of that could be, but they got to get that 2/3 vote. So that's the big hill they got to get over.
But there's no way they're going to try to tackle the vetoes, the line item vetoes of the.
I would never say no way. The legislature does what it wants to do, and I know a lot of the budget has been very controversial this year, the way that it was passed so quickly at the end of session. I know a lot of people have been very upset with that.
Then there was the big mistake.
With the cut to LDH, and so that was fixed through line item veto by the governor. So I don't anticipate that to come up, but anything is possible at the Louisiana legislature.
Absolutely, anything is possible. And you'll be down there for every day of the veto session?
Yes, I will. And so the veto session can only last for 5 days. It'll start on the 18th, which is Tuesday. And the veto session we had in 2021 only lasts for 2 days, but they were only really trying to tackle one bill. So if they're really trying to rally people together for more than one bill, we could see multiple days down there at the Capitol.
All right, we'll be watching you, Shannon.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Brad.
you. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.